Hello, and thank you for joining us for another edition of How It's Done, brought to you by Sign-A-Rama Skokie. Whether you manage a business, work for a school, or just need a sign for your personal needs, think Sign-A-Rama Skokie for all of your sign needs. Sign-A-Rama, where the world goes for signs. In this episode, we will be designing new window graphics for a local cleaner business. As you will see, this business could really use some high-quality graphics to increase impact and visibility of their business. Before we begin designing our window graphics using the online Sign Designer tool, it's important and helpful for us to take precise measurements of our window surface. Make sure to account for the window frames as well as any other objects already on the physical window surface. And be sure to note that on your rough drawing and include that information in your online designer tool layout. After you've navigated to signarama-skokie.com, your next step is to go to the Custom Vinyl Lettering tab and click it. When you click that tab, it will immediately take you to the Custom Vinyl Lettering page. At this page, you can scroll down and click the Window Lettering button. Once you get to the Window Lettering page, you'll have a few options. First, you can enter in the width and the height of your graphics. You also have some information that's given to you about your graphic and its durability. We're going to go ahead and enter in the dimensions for our graphic, which are 234 inches wide by 111 inches high. We arrived at these dimensions by measuring the height of our entire window surface, including the separating window frames, which are 2 inches high, for a total of 111 inches high, then totaling the width of the entire window surface, including the 3 vertical frames that will separate our text, which each have a 2-inch width, for a total of 234 inches wide. Click the Customize It button. And now we have been directed to our Sign-A-Rama Sign Designer tool, and we can get started designing our graphic. Now that we're inside of our online Sign Designer tool, you'll notice that the tool has automatically sized our canvas for us. Our canvas is this darker gray area, and everything outside of our canvas is in a lighter gray area, meaning that it will not be a part of our graphic. So the next thing that we want to do is to begin building our background. Now this tool works in layers, and it works from the top down, meaning the newer things will always be layered on top of the older things. However, you do have the option to push layers forward in any order that you decide. So let's go ahead and start on our background. To get a background, we want to select the Text tab, enter in a period, click OK, and you'll notice that a generic background has been added to our canvas. Wehowever, we don't need this background to be generic, we need it to be sized to our canvas. So we'll go ahead and click Size, and we'll give it the dimensions that we want. We'll need that to fill up the entire width of our canvas, and at the height, we just need it to be about 18 inches tall. I'll just click off of there, and you'll see that it's placed it right where it was. Now to get it exactly where we want it, we'll go ahead and click this button right here. Here we go, now it's centered up on the page. We'll push it all the way up to the top by clicking this top bar up here. And there it is. Now we also want to change the color of this top background. So we'll go ahead and go back up to Message. We'll click in the black tab, you'll see a color palette comes out, and we'll go with the dark green. And voila, there it is. We're going to do the same thing at the bottom. Great. Now that we've inserted our top and bottom backgrounds, and we have them in the nice dark green color that we need, we can go ahead and start inserting our frames that will separate the windows of our graphic. So to create the frame, what we'll do is we'll go back to our Add Text button, We'll insert our period so that the program knows that we want to make a background. We'll give it the correct dimensions, which is just 2 inches by 111 inches. Click off. And there we go. That is our first frame. We'll go ahead and place that frame where we need it. We need it to be at about a little bit under 5 feet within the graphic itself, within the canvas itself. Uh-oh. Now if you see what I just did, I grabbed it at the wrong point and I actually resized it. So if that happens, you just go over here, give it the correct size you need again, and you're back in business. Okay, so then we'll go back and correctly place our frame. We need it to be right at the top, so we'll click that top button over there. And then, because we want it to be in a precise location, and it's a very thin graphic, so it's hard for us to just start grabbing at it with the hand tools, we'll just use these arrows here. We'll push it to where we need it to. As I said, just under 5 feet. You can always go back and make adjustments whenever you want, even if later after you've used the tool and you've made your graphic and maybe you want to change some things around or perhaps you want to add artwork. But because you can email yourself these graphics, you can always go back and make any changes that you need to make. So we need 2 more of these bars. I'll go ahead and create those, and then we'll go ahead and add some letters. So now you see that I've gone ahead and added all 3 of our vertical frames. And I've even gone ahead and added this lower horizontal frame because this particular window surface has this set of 4 windows up top, but it also has another set of windows below. It's this set down here. So we wanted to account for that, and we had to input a frame because there actually is a frame on the actual window. So we needed to display that in our graphic. So what we'll do is we'll go back up to our Add Text button. Instead of adding a period this time for a background, we'll go ahead and enter in our text for our first window. Enter in your text, click OK. We're going to place our text roughly about right there because it will be in that first segment, but it's not spot on where we need it right now as far as size and dimensions go. So we'll go ahead over and click size, and we could use the dialog boxes here to adjust the width and the height of the letters. But we could also grab an edge and just kind of size it like that. We want it to fit 100% on that first canvas, so we need to pull it over a little bit, maybe size it down a little bit more, and that looks pretty good. And it even looks pretty centered for us. So again, we may have some changes that we need to make in the future, but for now it looks really good. And to bring out the letters a little bit, I'd like to maybe add some effects. So we'll click the Effects tab, we'll hit the Borders tab, we'll add a border. The default width for a border is none. We're going to scroll down and select Largest, and we want our border to be white. So once again, we will click on that black color button, and then a color palette will open, and we will select white. Click OK, and there we have it. I think what might make this text a little bit better is to possibly bold it. So we'll see what a bold looks like. Select bold. Wow, and that really stands out. I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in the next 3 tabs of text. One right here, and here, and then we'll pick it back up and add the text in our main window area in here. Okay, so this has turned out to be something really good looking. As you can see up top, we have all of our graphics that go in this upper area here. They have been bolded, they have nice white outlines, and of course they still have their nice dark green backgrounds. So now we can push on a little further and start working on our main window text. So once again, we'll go ahead and click Add Text. We will type in our message, and then we'll click OK, just like before. Now we already know that we want to bold, but of course we have to still change the size and all that good stuff and change the location. But for now, let's just go ahead and add our bold since we know we want it. And we'll even change our color since we know we're going to want to change that as well. Might as well get it out the way while we have the message dialog box open. Click dark green. Looks good. We'll go ahead and just add our bold. We already added our bold, so we'll add our outline. We'll click borders. Change the width again to largest. Change the color. We're going to go with a white outline once again. Click OK. Perfect. Now all we have to do is resize and place our letters in the proper place. And we will finish off our letters and complete our project in part 2 of our window graphics tutorial.